Hello and welcome back to another episode of Flow with the Grow. I'm your host, Sophia, and this is a podcast for all things health, fitness, wellness, personal development. And today I'm going to share with you 3 tips to help you stay on track during the weekend. These may or may not be things that you've heard of in the past, but maybe. But before we get started, just a few things I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, my voice kind of sounds deep right now. I think I'm getting a little bit sick. But secondly, I have a free Facebook group, if you are on Facebook, that is for anything goal related in your 2022. So I had asked people if there was a group, if I had a group where it was strictly just for accountability and support for your 2022 health and fitness goals, if you would want to join. And I had a ton of feedback and people wanting to be in a group like that. So I started that. There's like almost 70 of us right now. And I go in there every day and I share tips or ask a question. I'll share my workout or a meal, and other people can go in and share as well. So that is open to you if you would like to join that. On Facebook, it's Club Fit 2022, or you can send me a message on Facebook or on Instagram at Sophia_Dawn41. All of that is in the show notes, and you can request to join there as well. Secondly, I am now taking clients one-on-one for health and fitness coaching. It's not in-person training right now as of yet, but it's going to be all virtual. So I create workout programming as well as nutrition guidance. So not necessarily specific meal plans, but we're going to work on simple nutrition, simple changes, and small steps. And then along with that, some mindset coaching and weekly check-ins via Zoom or some sort of video call. So to help you stay on track and just talk more about like any challenges that you have, anything you need help with. So if you are interested, you can email flowwiththegrowpodcast@gmail.com. Of course, you can shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook as well if you are wanting to learn more about that. Okay, and thirdly, if you have been listening to the podcast for about a year now, probably this happened about a year ago, you know and saw on my Instagram stories, and I talked about it on a podcast episode about my teeth, the story with my teeth and veneers and things that have been happening basically my entire life. And it's been hell and frustrating. And yeah, so, well, guess what happened? My veneers came out. So just a quick backstory for anyone who doesn't know, I have fake teeth. They're called veneers, my 2 front teeth. And I had a soccer accident long ago, got kicked in the face, my teeth got chipped, and long story short, the dentist said that I don't need braces because it would only make like a 2-week difference for my teeth being straight, and that I could just do veneers on my chipped teeth that I had. And he told me that they were more permanent than teeth, that I could bite into things as normal, I could do things as normal. And then, so that's what I did. And then they broke. And then I went in and he said, well, yeah, you can't bite into things. You can't do things like that. They're not as strong as teeth. And I'm just sitting there like, what? I didn't say anything. I was like a scared, shy girl. And this dentist was kind of making me feel like it was my fault and kind of put me down for it. So my mom was also very angry. And I know that she feels, to this day, guilty about it. So over time, the past however many years, I don't know, I was maybe like 6 or 7. I'm not sure. I'm 29 now, but they have broken a few times. I went back to him, the same dentist, and he would put it back on over and over again. And I think he even made my mom pay for it. And then finally we changed dentists and he put it on, and it was just a temporary one, but it lasted for years, like 4, 5, 6 years maybe. And then eventually they did come off again. So I got them replaced and they lasted for a while again. Well, the same thing happened about a year ago. One of my veneers came off, and that ended up being a good thing because I had to get my regular cleanup. I hadn't been to the dentist for my cleaning in a long time, so it ended up being a good thing. Like, I needed to get my teeth cleaned because it was going down a not good route in the future. We won't get down that road, but it ended up being a good thing that they came out. So fast forward a year, yesterday, me and Kiana were driving to Minnesota and I was biting into a sandwich. Okay. And lately I've been feeling when I bite into something, I have to bite like on the side of my teeth. And sometimes I'll bite straight on with my 2 front teeth because if it's soft, like a sandwich, I'll do it. But if I've been biting at an angle, I can feel the tooth come off just slightly. So I thought that biting straight on would be okay, and that at an angle it wouldn't be okay. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was coming. And I was biting into my sandwich, and seriously, every single time I was so afraid that my tooth was going to come off, and in my mind, my gut was telling me to stop biting like that. But I did. I kept doing it, and one of my veneers came off. A piece of it came off. And I just stopped, and I was like, in my head, I was like, shit, I think that one of my veneers came off, and I look and felt my tooth, and yep, it did. So I just kind of like slowly spit my sandwich out that I had in my mouth and put it all down, and I just started bawling, just started crying. And it's just been frustrating and stressful, and it was just, it's been not a good time. I just need to get more permanent ones, which are way more of an investment, and I'm just going to try and do it. And every time this happens, I'm like, I kind of question, like, why is this such an emotional thing for me? Like, where's the root of this? Is it just the stress and frustration behind it all? Like, I don't know. But every time it happens, I always think about how it looks, how it feels. I think about having to pay for a temporary one, permanent one, whatever. It just makes me cry, and I cry a lot. And like, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to smile at people. Like, it really affects me emotionally and mentally. Talking with Kiana yesterday too, she had asked me a question that I have never ever considered or thought about before, and was like a holy shit aha moment. But she said, have you ever talked to your therapist about this happening? Like, when it first happened and just everything about it. And I'm just like, no, I haven't. I've honestly never even thought to do that. But maybe I should. Maybe I need to, because I think to some people it's like, and also looking back, like as it's happening, and even today looking back, like I realize that it's such a small thing. It doesn't seem like it should really matter, and I know that, first of all, it could be so much worse. It could be more than just these two front teeth. It could be, I mean, there's so many other things that could be wrong, or that could have happened. Or my other veneer is actually bigger, so that could have come out. But so much other like worse things could happen. And also I know that in the grand scheme of things, it is such a small thing that why it bugs me so much, I don't really know. But the reality is that it does. Something that people might not know about is that because of all this happening, the veneers, my teeth, like all of it, I am very insecure about my smile. I don't like my smile. I don't like my teeth. And anytime I'm looking at myself in the mirror, looking at my teeth or smiling, there's a moment of insecurity, and I just instantly push it down. Like, it just is what it is. And even though I have thoughts about how I really hate my smile and my teeth, I've never really let it affect me too much. It's like a thought just in passing. I push it down. I don't want to think about it, because the feelings that come with me thinking about how I hate my smile and my teeth, and the feelings that come with all of this, just dealing with this for however many years it's been, is just not a good feeling. So I avoid it as much as possible. This happened at a pretty young age, and it was, I don't know if traumatizing is the right word for this, but like I feel like it really was, like mentally and emotionally and socially. So especially when it would come off, and just, yeah. So that happened. And talking with Kiana, like she just kind of encouraged me to think about like what I would tell clients if someone was insecure about something, and think about that for myself, and also to use it to empower me, I think was the word that she used. And so just talking through it all with her helped. And it made me sad yesterday and frustrated, but I know that I don't want it to make me sad and frustrated the whole rest of the week. So it is what it is. I can't do anything about it right now. I can make an appointment with my dentist to get this going with trying to get more permanent teeth, or at least have it be temporary. So I'm really I just gotta live with it right now. Like I said, it is what it is. And just thinking through this and kind of reflecting on all of this, happening yesterday, which actually, when the time of this releasing on Tuesday, this actually happened on Sunday previously. But thinking through this, as always, there is a lot to be learned. There's a lesson to be learned, and I can choose how to react and respond to it. I can choose to be sad and mad and frustrated and angry at this dentist that fucked up my teeth years ago and let it affect my day and my mood and how I feel. Or I can choose to accept it, choose to just move forward. I can choose to learn from this. I can choose to use this situation as a lesson for anyone in the future. I can stay grateful that nothing worse happened, grateful that I have the option to go to the dentist, that financially I can maybe afford permanent teeth. I'm grateful that I have most of my teeth. I'm grateful that I have become really good at choosing how I react and respond to it. And you know what? I just let myself be sad yesterday when it happened, to sit in that and in those feelings and emotions. But now I'm choosing to not let it affect me as much as it did when it happened. And so, yeah, just gonna live with it for now. It could definitely be worse. Okay, and moving on to those 3 weekend tips to help you stay on track. Now, I thought to do this because for me personally, years ago, a couple years ago, I guess, I struggled hard on the weekends. Like, I kept Monday to Friday, I would eat really good, work out really good, and then the weekend would hit and bam. Binge eating, binge drinking, eat whatever. I was in the mindset where I'd eat whatever I wanted, where the weekend was the only time that I could eat the sweets, the pizza, the going out food. Like, that was my mindset. And so I figured, you know what, maybe there's someone out there who they're in that same spot as I was in. And these 3 things have helped me to change this reality, to change how I saw the weekends and to have more balance. This definitely was more of a practice. Like I say always, this will be a practice and you're going to just have to try again and see what works and not expect it to work on the first weekend or the second. Maybe it will. That would be awesome, but it's going to be up and down. So my tip number 1, and I'm sure that you've heard this before, is to move your body the first thing in the morning on the weekends. I had a client once and I told her this as something that she could work on for the weekend because she just said how she kind of gets off track on the weekends. And we were brainstorming things that she could do to help her to stay more on track. And when I mentioned this to her, she just kind of sat there like, oh yeah, I've never thought about doing this before. That's a really great idea. And so she did it. And she came back the next week saying that it helped her a lot. And so when I say move your body every day on the weekend, it doesn't have to be a super hard, intense workout or like lifting weights for an hour and a half, or it could be like maybe you have a rest day on the weekday. And so you're going to use the weekend to do one of your workouts. But if that's not the case, then maybe you get up in the morning and get ready for your day or have coffee, whatever, and then go for a walk. Or maybe you do a little body weight workout at home, or maybe you do some stretching, some mobility. Just get the blood flowing, just get your body moving, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. It doesn't even have to be an hour, but get your body moving. I found that this helped me to make better food choices later on in the day. I had more energy and I was more productive. Even if I don't want to be productive, it helps me to get my body moving more even later in the day. And I think what I found really helped me the most was just the fact that I would make better food choices. And then I would naturally have this energy and naturally want to do more. Tip number 2 is to change your perspective around, quote, weekend and weekdays. And just to practice in your mind, not labeling it as a weekday or a weekend. Like, it's just another day. And so for me, I learned that when I really labeled and focused on the words weekend and weekday, that contributed to my all or nothing mentality. Because during the weekdays, I wanted to go all in, be perfect, not have any cheat meals or whatever. And then on the weekend, that's when I would kind of go all out. But then when I started to switch that mindset and that perspective to, well, it's just another day, then that really, it's a weird change and frame of mind, but that really helped. And then number 3, kind of going along with this, and these two kind of coincide because they help each other, but number 3 is to not restrict, well, not restrict ever, but to really learn to not restrict during the weekdays. Because when I restricted during the weekdays, that's where on the weekends I would go all out. I would binge on foods that I was restricting because that's all that I wanted. And this goes along with unlearning diet culture and what diet culture has taught us. Once I began changing my thought patterns, mindset, relationship with food and fitness and everything, like I kind of naturally fell into this and being okay with like not doing the all or nothing mentality. Like I became better at just not restricting foods and just eating food really, not necessarily whenever I wanted to. Like I knew when I was hungry or not hungry, but just not restricting anything. Like if I wanted a cookie, we had a cookie at the house, I would eat it and that was it. I wouldn't restrict it. Like I just had more balance during the weekdays, and then naturally I would have more balance on the weekends. And so again, like each day is just another day. I don't restrict because it's a weekday, and I don't unrestrict because it's a weekend. So a recap of those tips. Number 1, start your day with movement. Number 2, change your perspective and not label days as weekend or weekdays. And then number 3, start to practice not restricting during the weekdays. And then having that frame of mind where since it's the weekends, I will binge and have cheat meals and whatever it is. So I hope these 3 tips can help you on your health and fitness journey and journey to staying on track. And the reality is that we all fall off track sometimes, and that's okay. But practice these things so that you can, like me, hopefully feel and have this sense of freedom, food freedom on the weekdays as well as the weekends, and to help you stay on track and maybe get back on track. If this was useful or helpful and someone you know needs to hear this, you think they could benefit, please send them this episode or put it up on your stories and tag me. And I'd love to know if you have any tips that have helped you to stay on track on the weekends as well. As always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, week, weekend. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Flow with the Grow. I'll see you next week for your daily dose of positivity and growth.